Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Moose and welcome to another deck profile, and I have to warn you, this one is a monstrosity. It shouldn't work in theory, but it does, and let me show you why. So before we get into the deck, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below telling me what do you think of the deck profile and the combos I'm about to show you, and subscribe for more content like this. So without any further ado, let us get straight into this monstrosity of a deck that has no business working except for the fact that it does. So here you have it, Adventurer, Dinosaur, Tri-Brigade. Now, if you're thinking, why the hell did you combine these three decks? Yeah, you're not wrong. I had the same thought. Until I tried it, and it was pretty amazing. Like, 60 card deck, you know, I thought it would be pretty good, and it actually works. Now, the theory of Adventurer decks means that it wouldn't actually work in this deck, or it shouldn't, but it does. The reason this deck shouldn't work, but does, is this card over here, Rite of Aramesa, the one that allows you to summon Adventurer tokens and get the whole engine online. But it has quite a big restriction. If any of you didn't know, you can't activate the effects of monsters on the field the turn you activate this card, except special summoned monsters. Now beware, that doesn't say for the rest of the turn, it says that turn. So you can't activate any effects except for special summon monsters. So for dinosaurs, you can't normal summon Oviraptor to get your combo started, so you'll notice I don't have the Scrap engine in this deck, because Scrap Raptor, Scrap Chimera, they're all normal summons. Then you also notice I'm not playing Rescue Cat at all, because again, normal summon focus engine. So, why am I playing dinos in this? And let's get into that, right, because I think it's important. The reason you're playing that is because, look at this, it's a 60 card deck, and Tri-Brigade doesn't always need a normal summon in order to work, neither does dinosaurs. And the reason for that is Baby Ceratosaurus, Petiternodon, Animodon Archosaur, Miscellaneousaurus, Fossil Dig, and Double Evo Pull. You don't always need Oviraptor first turn to make things work in this deck. You can use Miscellaneousaurus, pitching the Archosaur, summon out an Oviraptor if you have a baby around, and then special summon the Oviraptor and go from there, or you don't even need to use it. You use the DPE engine in here as well, so if you do summon an Oviraptor and don't use its effect, you can just link it off for a Verte and make a DPE. That's the general theory of the deck. Let's go through the deck profile, right? So let's talk about the different engines the deck is playing, right? First of all, there's the Dino engine. You're running 2 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno and 1 Dino Wrestler Pancratops. Not only are these fantastic cards working with your normal Dino engine, they can also be cheated out with Double Evo Pull. Then you're playing 1 Misk. Sadly, this isn't at 3, but you know, it does its job. 3 Soul Eating Oviraptor. I may cut this down to 2, I'm not so sure about 3 at the moment. 2 Baby Ceratosaurus, 1 Petiternodon, 2 Animodon Archosaur, and there's also a Giant Rex. So what I'm considering is taking the Oviraptor down to 2 and bumping Baby Ceratosaurus up to 3. Then we got your Tri-Brigade engine, so 3 Tri-Brigade Fractal, 3 Keras, 3 Kit, and 2 Nerval. The nice thing is, if you use Rite of Aramesa to get Fateful Adventure, you add Griffin to hand and you pitch Kit or Nerval, and then you are off to the races, because you can then get Keras to hand, and you can actually play out from there. Assuming you opened 2 Tri-Brigade monsters, you can do that using Keras itself. If you opened 1, you can actually pitch the Griffin that you search off of Fateful Adventure, and then go from there. It's not ideal, but it does work. Then coming into, you know, you're playing your DPE package, so 1 Destiny Eater Celestial, 1 Dasher, 1 DPE and a Verte. And then in terms of your actual Adventurer package, you're playing 3 Rite, 3 Water Enchantress, 1 Fateful Adventure, 1 Dracoback, and 1 Wandering Griffin Rider. Honestly, I'm actually considering pumping Griffin Rider up to 2, because just of the fact that you can actually send it off Keras, and you do want to be able to have another one that's not in the graveyard to shuffle it back in your deck. So actually, on that note, that's what I'm gonna do right now. Okay, so there you can see the updated deck profile. I've changed things a little bit. I just took out the 1 Ovi and put in the 2nd Griffin. Normally you wouldn't want to have 2, but the fact that you can pitch this off for Keras is really amazing. Then of course you got your 2 Fusion Destinies, and beyond that you're just running a bunch of good hand traps. So you're running the entire Gamma package, 3 Gamma, 1 Driver, 3 Nibiru, 3 Ash, and 3 Ghost Ogre. Now bear in mind, when you end off your combos, you're looking to end off with at least 1 or 2 hand traps on the field and some interruptions. The side deck is basically if you decide that the Adventurer package isn't for you, you can decide to side it out, so side out the Adventurer package, and then go into the Scrap package instead. So 2 Scrap Raptor, 1 Chimera, 1 Golem, 1 Wyvern. You can put that in place of the Adventurer package plus whatever other side cards you need, and that does work out pretty well. So that's it for the deck profile itself. Let me know what you think of that down below. But now we're going to go into some combos, and I'm going to show you some of the replays to show you what this deck can actually do. So here we have a fairly standard, well, it's a great hand, let's be honest. Let's go with this as an optimal hand, because you have 2 Fossil Dig, an Oviraptor in hand that you don't actually need right now because you have Misk Baby, which is the god combo for dinos, let's just be honest right now. So you use Fatal Adventurer, and get out your standard combo. You use Baby, summoning out the Oviraptor, and now you can actually use Oviraptor's effect even under right. And right there you are off to the races. And you can end off on a combo with DPE, Griffin, and, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno on field, with an Nibiru and a double Evo in hand for follow-up for the next turn. Then, going on to another one where if you open up slightly differently, you can still go right, but here you have Fossil Dig and, Misk Baby again, but you also have Fractal in hand, so that makes this a little bit different. So you can go for the Griffin, and then, get the Draco back, pitch the Misk off the Fateful Adventurer, instead of sending Misk with its own effect, and you are off to the races once again. You can get the advantage over Oviraptor right there, and again, there you are. Suddenly you have, in fact, a full graveyard, everything seems to be working quite nicely. Got a Keras in for follow-up with a bunch of winged beasts in the graveyard. Then you've got your, again, Ultimate Conductor, DPE, and your Griffin Rider on field with a double Evo, a Keras, and a Gamma for follow-up. That's not too bad at all, because even if you want to use Faithful Adventurer again, now that we've added in the second Griffin, you can take the Gamma and just send it back to your graveyard to add the Griffin to hand, which really isn't bad. I'm not gonna lie, the idea to put in 2 Griffin actually only came to me while I was recording this, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's working pretty well. Let's try another replay. This one is basically standard Dino combo if you don't draw your own, any Adventurer or any Tri-Brigade things. You can just go for these standard Dino combos. There's no problem with that. There's no reason not to do it. But, you'll just be able to play out normal dinos without having the Scrap package available to you. So it is a little bit less powerful than when you actually add Scrap Wyvern and could go into all of those things as well. But because you're playing DPE as well, you just go Verte, summon back that, and make a DPE. Now at this point it would be nice to have a Dalka or a Lagia as well that you could go into, but honestly I don't have 2 level 4 dinos on field that much, so I don't often have that in the extra deck because there's also really no space. If you want to see the extra deck, because we can go through it as well, DPE, Baron, Savage Dragon, 2 Shureg, Access Code, Appaloosa, 1 Rugal, 1 Lambda in case you're playing the Cyframe package and it really needs to happen, 1 Bearbrum, 2 Ferrigit, Verte, Linkuriboh, and Almirage. Now if you have a Kit or a Nerval in hand and you want to get those off to the graveyard, you can still normal summon them under right, link them off for Almirage, they'll get the effect anyway because it happens in the graveyard, so you don't need to worry about that. Now there is an argument for replacing Baron with Dalka or Lagia, I'm considering it, but given that we're running in total 1, 2, 3, 4 level 4 dinos, chances that you're going to have 2 of them on the field at the same time, not too high, so you might want to consider running another level 8 Synchro or a rank 4 Xyz generic. It might help, I don't know. But that's about it for the deck profile and the changes. Now if you've got normal Tri-Dino combo, you can also do that as normal, because you've got the kit, you've got the dinos, you've got everything that you really need. And honestly, you don't need to do too much. You can follow up with the Revolt and the kit in the next turn and have the Nibiru in hand if you need it, if your opponent manages to break your board. Now this is where Petty Pteranodon works over the Baby Ceratosaurus. It's because you can actually get out Pank with it instead of Ultimate Conductor if you already have double Evo, and then you end on Pank, DPE, and your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno with a set Revolt, which isn't live at the moment, but you could just keep it in hand to make them think you have hand traps and then go off with Kit the next turn. So that's up to you. Revolt is also just there that if you play the kit the next turn, your Revolt's already live, so that you don't have to wait until you actually get enough monsters in grave to be able to do it. And then again you have your standard Tri-Brigade Dino list. If you want to see a standard Tri-Brigade Dino list, then you can check out my video on that, not using the Adventurers and coming to I think 40 or 41 cards. But I'll be honest, I do like this version with hand traps and everything a little bit better. It does seem more consistent and it seems like it is a stronger version of the deck itself. There you go, and suddenly you have an interruption and a DPE and a Linkaribo as well. It's not too bad. You've still got the Dasher and Celestial in your grave for follow-up, but it's really nice just to have that Ghost Ogre, DPE pop, Linkaribo to blank an attack, and Ultimate Conductor to be able to pop even your Verte to be able to turn your opponent's plays off. So either way, not too bad. And then we get the Tri-Brigade and Right combo, so you can again go off for your full Tri-Brigade things, and this is why I say the second Griffin is really important here. Playing one just isn't enough in a deck that utilizes Winged Beasts the way this one does. You can pop the one and then summon out your Keras and you have your combos going live, which is really nice. Bear in mind I did misplay a little bit in this replay, but we got the Verte, we got the DPE out, and there you have another Right in your hand for the next turn. And you can always get a Griffin the next turn, so you've got an Oviraptor and a Biru, a DPE, and an Adventurer token. It's not the best end board at this point, but it was just something I was trying out. Not all of these are meant to be amazing, they are just sort of trial runs as well of the deck. Then if you have, dead cards in your hand, like Driver, you can always use things like Rite of Adamessus to shuffle them back with your Tri-Brigade cards, because again, you're going to pitch the Nerval, get the Keras, dump the Griffin, summon the Keras, and then you are off to the races with your Tri-Brigade combo. And since you already have Revolt in hand, you don't need to go for Bearbrum. You can simply go into the DPE, set the Revolt, and you've got an Asher and a Biru in hand with your cards actually there for follow-up, making the Revolt live. So honestly, I think it's a really good deck. I think that this deck can do things. I'm going to test it out at my locals this Thursday, and then of course that sealed only boxed deck I'm going to be using on Sunday at the locals as well. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure to leave a like if you liked the video, and make sure to subscribe for more content like this.